Chapter 1206. Becoming Rank 7. Fang Yuan had already thrown the matter of the blood battle martial competition to the back of his mind. He absolutely would not let go of Yi Lui Kunxing's immortal aperture. Even if he could not annex it right now, he could do so in the future. As for the righteous path's demand for Yi Lui Kunxing's corpse and soul, Fang Yuan thought about it and was willing to satisfy a portion of the request regarding the body. His focus was the immortal aperture. Yi Lui Kunxing's soul also could not be transacted. He could soul search and obtain many of Yi Lui tribe's secrets. After the soul search, he could still hand over this Gu immortal soul to Langya sect and earn sect contribution points. The urgent matter right now is to test whether I can annex this immortal aperture or not. Fang Yuan flew rapidly. He took twists and turns, guarding against heaven's will. A few hours later, he arrived at Taichio. Taichio was not too far away from Blood Plain. If looked from Northern Plains map, Blood Plain would be at the left side and Taichio would be at the right side. The territory in between was He tribe's Iron Eagle Blessed Land, Blood Plain, Iron Eagle Blessed Land, and Taichio. If these three were connected in two lines, they would form an irregular V shape. Entering Taichio, Fang Yuan changed his appearance and sneaked inside. He was familiar with the route, and soon, he arrived at the Super Gu formation he had arranged previously. Through the Super Gu formation, he arrived at Langya Blessed Land. Fang Yuan has returned. Sixth Hair immediately paid close attention to Fang Yuan's every move. Ever since he left after exchanging for Dragon Breath Immortal Gu, this is the first time he has returned. What did he use Dragon Breath Immortal Gu for? Sixth Hair was constantly guessing that he did not know that hours ago, Fang Yuan had used Ancient Sword Dragon Transformation to kill a Rank 7 Gu Immortal Expert. Yi Lui Kunxing. This person was at the same level as Pai Shui Han, an unfettered scholar. Fang Yuan's strength was now already able to compare favorably to these characters. Since the failure at Etian Mountain, Shadow Sect was in an extremely disordered state. Sixth Hair might very well be the only survivor of Shadow Sect left in Northern Plains. His information gathering was much slower than before, but the news of Fang Yuan killing Yi Lui Kunxing could not be covered up. This news was too shocking and would soon spread throughout the whole of Northern Plains Gu Immortal world, and even Central Continent's Gu Immortals would hear of it. After all, Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects were also paying attention to this blood battle martial competition. Fang Yuan is leaving again. Sixth Hair was astonished. The Super Gu formation flashed again as Fang Yuan left. Sixth Hair did not know what Fang Yuan was doing, coming and going in such a hurry. But he intuitively felt something amiss, and was somewhat panicked. He felt Fang Yuan was going to obtain enormous benefits at this time. Fang Yuan's growth rate was increasing rapidly, and to Shadow Sect, this was very bad news. Fang Yuan used Langya Blessed Land to teleport. He wanted to annex the immortal aperture. For that, he had to first place the aperture. He could not place the immortal aperture in Blood Plain. The commotion would be huge, and it would attract countless gazes. And that was not good for Fang Yuan. It was not easy to obtain this Rank 7 Star Path Immortal Aperture. I naturally want the process of annexing it to go without any mishaps. When Fang Yuan appeared in the other Gu formation outside, he was already very far away from Blood Plain. He had already planned his actions and had already chosen a location. Exiting the teleportation Gu formation, he hit his tracks and flew rapidly, arriving above ordinary grassland not long later. After inspecting and not finding anything wrong, Fang Yuan took out Yi Lui Kunxing's corpse. The pitiful fellow's head had already been sliced off entirely. Fang Yuan used temporary measures to handle the headless corpse, ensuring the immortal aperture would still exist. This method had its own history. When Fang Yuan had seen Blazing Heaven Demoness method of retrieving apertures, he had also inquired her for some research results of old immortal Kong Ju. Adding on to Fang Yuan's methods from his first life, he had created his own method in preserving an immortal aperture. Yi Lui Kunxing's soul was already taken out by Fang Yuan and sealed properly. The situation was a little troublesome. Yi Lui Kunxing's soul had similarly suffered from his dragon breath, and its injuries were not light. Fortunately, Fang Yuan had Guts Gu. Although this Gu worm was only immortal Gu, it was created from a secluded domain of heaven and earth, and was among the best methods of soul strengthening in this world. Fang Yuan was the owner of Dang Hun Mountain. Thus he had large reserves of them with him. After using many guts goo, despite Yi Lui Kunxing's soul being on the verge of dissipation, it was finally rescued. Fang Yuan released the seal he laid out and threw the corpse onto the grassland. The mighty Yi Lui Kunxing, who had enjoyed boundless glory while alive, was treated so casually after dying. If Yi Lui tribe's Gu immortals were to see this, they would definitely jump out in anger to stake their lives against Fang Yuan. Several breaths later, there was turbulence in heaven and earth chi. The immortal aperture began to land on the ground, causing a huge commotion. Fortunately, Fang Yuan had dogshit luck and was not as unlucky as before, when it seemed like he might even die from choking when drinking water. Without any surprises, the immortal aperture's entrance opened in front of Fang Yuan. Despite having the upper extreme heavenly eagle, he still took the chance to enter Kunxing blessed land through the entrance. Yi Lui Kunxing's blessed land was rather peculiar. The sky was a scene of darkness, but the ground below emitted dim blue light. The moment Fang Yuan glanced, his mind shook. He discovered the ground of this blessed land was actually covered with countless star fragments. The large ones among these star fragments were as big as shells, while the small ones were the size of pebbles, and they gave a rustling sound when stepped on. The blessed land seemed endless in size. Its surface was vast, and its terrain was level. Fang Yuan wanted to fly, but felt a powerful magnetic force that firmly kept him to the ground. The ground suddenly protruded up, then a basin-sized star core floated in front of Fang Yuan. This azure star core was like a dark blue crystal ball. It was. This blessed land's land spirit. It was bright and colorful, and was slowly revolving on its own axis, emitting all kinds of light rays, making Fang Yuan mentally associate them to the rays of light in those perfect diamonds back on Earth. Amidst soundless communication, Fang Yuan learned about this blessed land's ownership condition. Ordinary Gu immortals. This condition was quite difficult, because the land spirit's request was to show the true, complete version of the immortal killer move. Myriad star fireflies, to it. While alive, Yi Lui Kunxing had all along been pondering on myriad star fireflies. The immortal killer move he created also imitated myriad star fireflies heavily. His obsession was about this. After death, his obsession combined with the heavenly power in the immortal aperture to form this land spirit. My luck is overflowing. It cannot be stopped, haha. Fang Yuan immediately took out the whole contents of myriad star fireflies and gave it to the land spirit. He was the killer of Dong Fangchong Fan and had searched Dong Fangchong Fan's soul countless times, sometimes also torturing him. In the end, he had handed Dong Fangchong Fan's soul to Langya land spirit like it was rubbish and exchanged it for sect contribution points. After a while, Fang Yuan became this blessed land's master. Now is the most crucial moment. Let's see if I can annex this blessed land. Fang Yuan rested for a while before beginning. Immortal apertures could annex one another, and summarizing the experiences of predecessors, there were three main conditions for this. First, annexing an immortal aperture required specific attainment level. Second, a smaller immortal aperture could not engulf a bigger one. Third, dead apertures could not be annexed. Fang Yuan already satisfied two conditions for annexing Kunxing blessed land. But there was still one condition left, which was somewhat ambiguous, that a smaller immortal aperture could not engulf a bigger one. The question here was, what was small and what was big? If it was cultivation level, rank 6 immortal apertures were small and rank 7 immortal aperture were big. Then Fang Yuan would not be able to annex this Kunxing blessed land. If it was based on the immortal aperture's foundation, and so on, Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture absolutely surpassed Kunxing blessed land and could devour it. Fang Yuan had already wanted to test this and verify it. The regretful thing was that there were very few rank 7 immortal apertures among the immortal apertures he knew of, and he was also unable to fulfill the attainment level conditions. Until now, when Fang Yuan seized Kunxing blessed land, Fang Yuan had both skills and boldness. He began to test. With the land spirit's help, he began to annex Kunxing blessed land. The process was smooth beyond expectations. He simply did not encounter any obstacles. The test succeeded. After annexing Kunxing blessed land, Not only did the sovereign immortal aperture have an enormous star fragment plane, more importantly, many of Feng Yuan's calamities and tribulations were past, letting him officially ascend to rank 7 from rank 6, that rank 7 Gu Immortal. From this moment on, I am a rank 7 Gu Immortal. I have finally become a rank 7. Feng Yuan was filled with emotions. In the 500 years of his first life, he had only been at rank 6 second heavenly tribulation level. Naturally, the current Feng Yuan knew that Heavens will had intentionally suppressed his cultivation level, that Heavens will required an otherworldly demon as a tool to deal with Shadow Sect. Feng Yuan was chosen by Heaven's will. Naturally, it carved and sculpted Feng Yuan to make him a qualified chess piece. At the least, his cultivation level could not be too high. If he was too strong, Heaven's will would find it more difficult to control Feng Yuan. He also could not be too weak. Otherwise, even with rebirth, he could not be of any use. Rank 6 was just right. This was a long-term plan of Heaven's will, but at present, because of all kinds of fortuitous encounters as well as his own efforts and perseverance, Feng Yuan had finally broken through Heaven's will's restrictions and charged to rank 7. Its significance was huge. Rank 6 Gu Immortals were considered bottom tier. They were numerous. Rank 7 Gu Immortals were mid-tier. They were the elites among Gu Immortals and had high statuses. Rank 8s were rare. Their every move could create a storm in a region. Reaching this level, Feng Yuan had already become an elite among Gu Immortals, an expert. If a rank 6 saw him, they would have to detour around him. Even among rank 7 Gu Immortals, Feng Yuan was only wary of Yi Lui Kun Xing, Unfettered Scholar, New Air Gu, such characters of this level. Chu Du? Feng Yuan estimated he was still somewhat below him. Fortunately, Chu Du was currently his ally to AT this moment. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture began to produce Red Date Immortal Essence. Shortly, Feng Yuan would possess his own Red Date Immortal Essence at the same time. He could also merge his accumulated Green Grape Immortal Essence and turn them into Red Date Immortal Essence. 100 beads of Green Grape Immortal Essence could merge into a bead of Red Date Immortal Essence. I need to merge them. If Green Grape Immortal Essence was used to activate rank 7 Immortal Gu, there would be at least 30% additional expenditure. After merging them into Red Date Immortal Essence, there won't be any meaningless loss in this aspect. Once some time passes, I will have reserves of Red Date Immortal Essence and will no longer have to fear battles of attrition. The difficult situation when Heavenly Lord Baizu attacked Hei Fan Grotto Heaven will be completely behind me. Chapter 1207. Doing something bad. Hao Zhen flew to the sky and spat out a thunderbolt. This thunderbolt shrunk into a ball, with the color of lapis lazuli, and charged towards Hao Zhen's opponent with a speed that seemed to be slow but was actually fast. His opponent was a Gu Immortal of Murong tribe who had a burly stature, with muscles that were like layers of rocks. He had a wide nose bridge, large chin, and small forehead, making his head look like a triangle. Seeing the thunderbolt approach him, he actually did not dodge and let the thunderbolt land on his body. Boom! The thunderbolt exploded, lightning splashed out everywhere, dazzling the spectating immortal's eyes for a moment. After the lightning dissipated, the Murong tribe Gu Immortal was standing on the same spot without even budging. There was a patch of burnt color on his chest from which white smoke was still rising. But the effect was only that. This is your strongest attack? You have burned some of my hair. It is a little more powerful than before. This Murong tribe Gu Immortal spoke in a tranquil tone without a hint of frustration. Hao Zhen's eyes seemed to spout fire from anger, but he was not able to retort. His strongest killer move had no effect on this opponent. Wonderful. He is indeed the Gu Immortal famous for his defense in Northern Plains. Murong Gang. This guy is not attacked at all and is only taking the beating passively. Elder Hao Zhen's offense actually could not show any results. Both sides Gu Immortals exclaimed in surprise. Feng Yuan killing Yi Lui Kun Xing had been an extremely heavy blow to the righteous path. To turn the tide of the situation and raise morale. Gong Wanting immediately took measures to make Murong tribe's strongest expert among their current group take action. It was this burly man who seemed to be forged from steel. Murong Gang. Chu Du was frowning again. He sighed internally. Just now, Yilui Kun Xing was killed. Now there is Murong Gang. These Huangjin tribes are indeed the overlords who have ruled northern plains for so many years. Their accumulation is truly powerful. At this moment, Hao Jin admitted his defeat and returned with a pale expression. I am ashamed. I could not live up to your expectations. Chu Du consoled him with a few words. Fang Yuan had not left for long, and he had fallen into the same awkward situation like before that he looked at the immortals behind him, but found he had no capable people to send. In my opinion, the strongest person among us is you, Supreme Elder. But you cannot easily take the stage. I think you need to call back Elder Lu. Immortal Wang suggested. His suggestion was immediately approved by many Gu immortals. Right, Elder Lu's strength is unfathomable. He can kill Murong Gang. Elder Lu killed Yilui Kun Xing easily. Killing Murong Gang won't be a problem for him. Elder Lu's ancient sword Dragon Breath is too powerful. Even Murong Gang spoke. Domination Immortal, don't send other minor characters. Besides you, the only one who can enter my Murong Gang's eyes is Lu Guanyi. Bring him out. I would like to experience the power of his dragon breath. Damn it, he is actually looking down on us. Chou Lao Wu was furious. Hao Jin clenched his fists. If it were 2-on-2, we could use Wind Thunder Roar and wipe them out. After seeing Fang Yuan's power, Hao Jun and Chou Lao Wu had no more dissatisfaction towards their position of third and fourth Supreme Elders. Hao Jun was only saying this to retain some face. Actually, he was aware that his and Chou Lao Wu's Wind Thunder Roar was powerful, but it was not easy to use it, and it required a safe environment. Like before, when Heavenly Lord Baizu attacked Hei Fan Grotto Heaven, they were able to use Wind Thunder Roar because they were protected by other Gu immortals. Everyone was anticipating Fang Yuan's reappearance. Chu Du side hoped Fang Yuan could raise their might again. The Righteous Path side hoped they could kill Fang Yuan. Avenging Yilui tribe was secondary. The main thing was that they wanted to kill this person to salvage their face. Chu Du naturally also hoped Fang Yuan would take the stage again. But Fang Yuan had not given any reply. Chu Du could only smile bitterly at this and could do nothing about it. His and Fang Yuan's relationship was of mutual benefits, and they held equal status. Langya blessed land. Inside a secret room in a cloud city, Fang Yuan was sitting cross-legged on a prayer mat, his divine sense entering his immortal aperture. He was merging green grape immortal essence and refining them into red date immortal essence. This merging method was widely popular and was not anything new. Countless mortal Gu was moving on their specific trajectories. Some were standing still, some emitted light, while some flew continuously. Under the effect of these Gu worms, beads of green grape immortal essence were slowly but surely merging together. Tens of thousands of green grape immortal essence were piled in this enormous mortal Gu formation. With Fang Yuan's continuous effort, there were already 2 beads of red date immortal essence produced at the bottom of the green grape immortal essence. Chu Du sent a letter again. It is still that Murong Gang. This is already the 6th letter. Fang Yuan's attention slightly diverted. Shortly afterwards, he threw this information path mortal Gu aside, having no interest to even reply. What blood battle martial competition? I don't give a F***ck. Screw off, in any case. Fang Yuan's agreement with Chu sect was extremely loose. Besides some fundamental interests and principles, even if he suddenly did not want to do a task, or his interest waned, or he betrayed the sect, or he voluntarily left Chu's sect, he would receive no backlash. What was the nature of this blood battle martial competition? Fang Yuan knew it was a political compromise. This was a stage which Heavenly Lord Baizu and Yao Huang, 2 rank 8s, had discussed and created. It was to restrict the scope of the conflict between one another. The basic purpose was to ensure both sides' interests did not suffer loss beyond their bottom line. Yao Huang knew clearly that since Baizu tribe was already established, it could not be destroyed. At least, he alone was not able to do it, because on the opposing side was a rank 8 Gu immortal, Heavenly Lord Baizu. As long as he existed, Baizu tribe was as stable as a rock, unless Longevity Heaven sent a powerful reinforcement, for example, a rank 8 Gu immortal. When he received the Longevity Edict, he was already reluctant. All he needed was to provide an explanation to deal with Longevity Heaven. Heavenly Lord Baizu did not want to provoke trouble. He had just created his tribe and wanted everything to move smoothly. However, the situation did not permit it. He could only swallow the bitter pill and face the Huang Jin tribe's allied offense. Just this competition would do. They would not truly fight to the death. Chu Du had seen through these two sides' thoughts, and because he was coincidentally squeezed in between, he took a huge step forward and established Chu's sect, using Heavenly Lord Baizu's might to test the response of Northern Plains' righteous path. If it was accepted, he could expand Chu's sect. If it was not accepted, he would disband Chu's sect. The losses wouldn't be huge and were of no concern. From Longevity Heaven's standpoint, they naturally did not like seeing other bloodlines mixing in among the righteous path. All along, Northern Plains had been the world of the Huang Jin tribes. They were even more unwilling to see Chu's sect's existence. The master-disciple relationship, compared to the bloodline system, were two different ideologies. Systems based on either one were always sensitive and on guard against the other. Longevity Heaven's Gu immortals were clear that once the master-disciple system was spread, it would greatly shake their tribal forces and benefits. Central Continent was a clear example and the best evidence of this. But Longevity Heaven is dreaming if they want to rely on just the Longevity Edict to destroy the alliance between Chu's sect and Baizu tribe. Unless they become more resolute and send out rank 8 experts to kill Heavenly Lord Baizu. This world is all about strength. He tribe did not have a rank 8 Gu immortal to suppress the situation and had also lost their immortal Gu house. With just some excuses, their fellow Huang Jin tribe members destroyed them. Baizu tribe is an outsider and not of Huang Jin bloodline. But there is Heavenly Lord Baizu, making it a completely different situation. Strength, strength. Fang Yuan's thoughts lingered over this word. Rank 7 cultivation level. This was an accomplishment, but to him, it was only another starting point. The blood battle martial competition does not match my interests. I have the sovereign immortal aperture and can annex other immortal apertures, skipping calamities and tribulations to raise my cultivation and strength. This is a shortcut for cultivation, filled with slaughter and blood. But I like it. I want chaos. The more chaos, the better. But the 5 regions' chaotic war is still over 400 years later. It is too far away. I can't wait that long. I need to think of a way to make them fight. The blood battle martial competition is too gentle. How many can be killed? If there are no deaths, there won't be blessed lands. There is also Langya's sect and the 4 races alliance. If I let Northern Plains human Gu immortals know of them, what will their response be? Regretfully, I am bound by alliance agreements. Although there is do not care, it cannot resolve the underlying problem. Fang Yuan's only worry was that the world wouldn't be chaotic. Sinister and dangerous thoughts started to rise up in his mind. He did not intend to go to Blood Plain. The sect's enthusiastic anticipation and the enemy's provocation, what value did they have? Fang Yuan had to spend all his effort to kill Yi Lui Kunxing. If his actions had slightly slowed, he would have lost the opportunity. Would those 3 immortal Gu houses just stay there like decorations? Especially that Murong gang. He was a tough foe. It would not be easy for Fang Yuan to defeat him, let alone kill him. Since the start of the battle, Chu Du's side had lost many times, while the righteous path had not even lost 1/3 of the time. There definitely would be some internal conflicts of the sect involved in this. This was a trick righteous path Gu immortals like to play. Fang Yuan had first thought of going to southern border. Over these last days, he had adjusted his cultivation plan, using almost all his time and energy in refining Dream Path Mortal Gyud. It was all preparation for that giant dream realm in southern border. But he thought, and felt the opportunity at this blood battle martial competition was truly too rare. Adding on that on southern border's end, it was occupied by the righteous path whom had arranged a super Gu formation to tightly defend the giant dream realm. Fang Yuan felt it would be very difficult for him to meddle in and did not have any opening currently. Thus, after Fang Yuan refined all the green grape immortal essence into red date immortal essence, he quietly left Langya blessed land and arrived at Lu tribe's territory. He was going to do something bad. Chapter 1208. With the murder weapon in hand, killing intense surges. Northern Plains, Bone Burial Field. This was a place filled with white bones. Countless piles of skeletons were together. There were some huge skeletons resembling hills, and also small skeletons unassumingly situated by the side. Most skeletons were pale white in color. Under the corrosion of nature in the sun and wind, their flesh had already decomposed. Only these strong and tough bones of the desolate beasts and ancient desolate beasts remained. But there were also some bones with special colors. Some were yellow and shining brightly. Some were purple and alluring, emitting poisonous gas. Gu immortal Lu Yong was paying close attention. He had the Huang Jin bloodline. He was a rank 6 enslavement path Gu immortal of Lu tribe. Right now, he was manipulating 6 desolate beast bone armor hounds as he traveled in Bone Burial Field, searching for his target. The formation of Bone Burial Field had several possible rumored origins. Some said that during the Olden Antiquity era, to enslavement. Path great experts engaged in a life and death battle here, resulting in the deaths of many desolate beasts and ancient desolate beasts. Some said that this was a graveyard of bone monsters. Countless bone monsters felt that their lifespans were ending, so they came here and buried themselves. Some even speculated that this was a Gu refinement ground created by a refinement path great-grandmaster during ancient times. After countless years had passed, it reached this present state. But no matter what, Bone Burial Field contained large numbers of desolate beast and ancient desolate beast corpses. Lu tribe controlled this place and developed it wholeheartedly, trying to turn this into a production base for bone path Gu worms. And every year, Lu Yong would borrow the use of this place to pick suitable bones for his bone armor hounds and replenish their bone armor. This white bone seems like a snake bone. It is soft and cannot be used. If it is eaten, the bone armor would be soft and have no defensive properties. This is a poison Gu. Bone armor hounds do not have high resistance against poison. They will die if they eat this. This bone is not bad. It seems to be a desolate beast steel skin giant lizard's bone. Even though it is not the hardest, it is good enough, especially when it can endure heavy weight. Lu Yong inspected for a moment, discovering more and more loot. Eventually, he placed his beloved hounds, the 6 bone armor hounds, at 6 different locations. He himself was lying down on a huge skull, looking at the sky. Today has good weather. It is sunny with gentle breeze. He looked at the blue sky. There were no clouds anywhere, and the sunlight was not intense. Wind blew on his face mildly. He felt very comfortable. Looking at the empty sky, Lu Yong felt really bored. The tribe has sent an information Gu here. Suddenly, his brows rose as his eyes shone with light. He sensed that something interesting was coming. His mind quickly entered his immortal aperture. As his consciousness entered the information path Gu worm, the contents of the Gu worm spoke about the advancements and developments that Lu tribe had made in the last few months. Next were some rumors and the actions of experts recently. Finally, the most important point. It talked about the developments of the blood battle martial competition. Murong Gang defeated 8 people in a row. Impressive. However, between every battle, he has to recover for 2 hours. He is unlike Yi Lui Kun Xing. He could fight consecutively. I heard that Murong Gang has strong defensive methods, but his immortal essence expenditure is huge as well. Sai, speaking of Yi Lui Kun Xing, it was really a pity. He was actually killed by Chu Sect's 2nd Supreme Elder in a sneak attack. That was really despicable. Lu tribe was a Huang Jin tribe, a righteous path force. When spreading the information, they naturally placed it from their own perspective for their political benefit. Even though the information was not wrong, the way it was written would give others a different feeling when reading it. For example, losing repeatedly and fighting on despite repeated setbacks. Between the 2 phrases, they would provide different impressions. All in all, it talked about how strong Fang Yuan was, and the facts about his ancient sword dragon transformation. The information also emphasized on how shameless he was, and how devious and scheming he acted. The Lu Guani identity that Fang Yuan was using had definitely became famous after this battle. Nobody in Northern Plains Gu immortal world did not know of him. Even Prince Feng Xian and Heavenly Lord Baizu learned of him. Even in the other regions, like Central Continent, they heard about Lu Guani. After expressing his anger and disdain towards Fang Yuan, Lu Yong thought about himself, sighing. I cultivate enslavement path. I am not suited to one-on-one fights. When can I gain such fame at the blood battle martial competition too? Maybe one day, I can defeat Lu Guan-yi and challenge Domination Immortal Chu Du. Wouldn't that be really cool? Lu Yong was thinking about this when suddenly, there was a huge explosion. Rumble. The entire ground was shaking intensely. What? What is going on? The giant skull below Lu Yong had fallen off the neck of the skeleton due to the tremors. Lu Yong quickly got up as he floated in the air, staring widely in bewilderment. This defensive Gu formation is being attacked. Someone is attacking here? This is the territory of my Lu tribe. Thinking of this, Lu Yong felt that it was unimaginable that my Lu tribe is a great righteous path force, a Huangjin tribe. We are a domineering force in the whole of Northern Plains. Especially recently, their longtime enemy, He tribe, was gone, and Chu Du was also being targeted. The future looked promising, and they were currently in high spirits. Someone was actually attacking Lu tribe's territory now. Who gave them the guts? Their dog guts were truly rivaling heaven. Lu Yong was furious, and also slightly glad. Thankfully, I came here to pick up bones and feed my bone armor hounds. Heh. The attacker is really unlucky to have encountered me. At the next moment, Lu Yong saw the invader. Or rather, a dragon, an ancient sword dragon. It had pale white eyes, a sharp horn that extended to the sky. Its scales were shiny and thick. Its claws were sharp and powerful. It had a muscular tail, and its teeth gave off a chilly feeling. Lu Yong shuddered upon seeing it. Oh? It seems that a member of Lu tribe is here. My luck is pretty good. The ancient sword dragon spoke human words, as its dragon eyes emitted strong, killing intent. Lu Guan-yi. Lu Yong was stunned this moment. He wanted to cry. His heart was pounding intensely. His body was uncontrollably shaking as Lu Yong screamed internally to himself. Stay calm. Quickly calm down. Lu Yong, you can do it. Another voice in his head was resounding. Calm down, my ass. He is Lu Guan-yi. Even Yi Lui Kun Xing died at his hands. He is scheming and shameless, and scrupulous and shrewd. I am just a tiny rank 6 Gu immortal. Calm down, calm down. Right. Lu Guan-yi is the second supreme elder of Chu sect. Isn't Chu sect a righteous path force? Then Lu Guan-yi is a righteous path Gu immortal. As a righteous path member, how can he attack us for no reason? Attacking us for wealth, that is a demonic path act. Lu Guan-yi calmly analyzed, at the same time. Another voice screamed in his head. Then tell me, why is Lu Guan-yi not participating in the blood battle martial competition, but here instead? He destroyed our Lu tribe's defensive Gu formation. His evil intentions are apparent. What else could he want? Even though Lu Yong's name had courage, sup, 1/sup in it. At this moment, he was completely gutless. He stammered as his tongue was shivering. Lord Lu, why are you here at my Lu tribe? Of course it is to. Fong Yuan purposely dragged his words out. Is to what? Lu Yong asked. Fong Yuan's reply was not in words. It was his dragon breath. This was the ancient sword dragon's breath, having the rank 7 dragon breath immortal Gu in it. The speed was fast like a flash of white light. Lu Yong's upper body blew up. Fresh blood spewed out, scattering on the pale white bones, detailing the sadness and pathetic state of a weakling. The two halves of his body landed on the ground. His expression before death was still frozen on his face. His eyes were staring wide open. Useless fellow. But it is not strange. All of the Huangjin tribes have been in power for too long. There is unavoidably some rot on the inside. Just like the 10 great ancient sections. Fong Yuan analyzed internally. The bigger the tree, the more leaves it would have, and unavoidably, it would have some rotten wilting leaves as well. Woof woof woof. The 6 bone armor hounds barked at Fong Yuan angrily. Their owner was dead, but they still feel attached to him. They all ran over, guarding their master's corpse, defending it loyally, as if hoping that it would revive. Seeing this, Fong Yuan's evaluation of Lu Yong rose by a bit. It seems that he is passable in raising desolate beasts. Unfortunately, they do not have the wisdom of Gu immortals. What can these 6 beasts do? Fong Yuan sneered as he flew down. This battle had no unexpected surprises to an hour later. 6 fainted bone armor hounds were lying in Fong Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture. These desolate beast hounds appeared at a good time. Fong Yuan was about to buy some desolate beast dogs, and used their feces to feed dog shit luck immortal goo. There were also a vast amount of desolate beast and ancient desolate beast corpses. They had extremely high value. Feng Yuan placed them in his sovereign immortal aperture, temporarily storing them somewhere. And finally, Lu Yong's corpse. His immortal aperture was still hidden in his stomach. Feng Yuan sealed it for now. This enslavement path immortal aperture was suited for Feng Yuan to annex, and also Lu Yong's soul. After being hit by Feng Yuan's dragon breath, although extremely weak and at Feng Yuan's mercy, it was still alive. Feng Yuan quickly thought of the reason. This Lu Yong was an enslavement path gu immortal. Enslavement and soul path are related. To manipulate desolate beasts, one must have a sufficiently strong soul foundation. Feng Yuan quickly left the scene of the crime, but he moved very quickly. Only a tattered defensive gu formation was left, and the empty bone burial field, as well as the upper body of Lu Yong. The next location, Lu tribe's Jade Light Pit. Feng Yuan licked his lips, showing excitement in his eyes that he had just committed murder, but now he was not going to retreat. He was going to attempt another crime. As the saying goes, with the murder weapon in hand, killing intense surges. Feng Yuan was a rank 7 gu immortal with ancient sword dragon transformation. His battle strength had risen immensely. He was starting to become somewhat unrestrained. Chapter 1209, Looting Another Place. Whoosh, a figure flew in the sky, tearing across space as a shrill sound could be heard. It was Feng Yuan. Right now, he was still in the ancient sword dragon form. He was using sword escape, immortal gu, and flying rapidly. This speed was terrifying. Back then when he killed Yi Lui Kun Xing, almost none of the gu immortals managed to react. Of course, his burst of speed at that time was shocking. But now, Feng Yuan was traveling a long journey. His speed was lower now, compared to his peak burst of speed. Even so, he was very fast. My speed is top tier, even in Northern Plains gu immortal world. Of course, I cannot compare to Hui Fengzi. Chu Du's body strength travel is far below me now. Hui Fengzi was most skilled in speed. He was known as the fastest person in Northern Plains. Disregarding any hidden cultivators, Hui Fengzi was truly worthy of this. Because there was once a rank 8 gu immortal who chased him but failed to capture him. Feng Yuan was still far inferior compared to him. This was the case for both straight distance travel and nimbleness, but Chu Du's body strength travel had indeed been faster than Feng Yuan's sword escape, immortal gu, in terms of straight distance travel. Now, Feng Yuan turned into the ancient sword dragon. His original flying speed with his Dao mark amplification caused Feng Yuan's speed to surpass Chu Du not. To mention that Chu Du's immortal killer move, body strength travel, had a major flaw. It could only fly straight. It could not turn and had low nimbleness. If compared to rank 8 gu immortals, how would I fare? Feng Yuan had a question in his mind. Immediately, he shook his head. Rank 8 gu immortals were all unfathomable. If they wanted to pursue Feng Yuan, he would be in danger. His initial burst of speed might surpass them and pull some distance, but in a long-distance chase, he would definitely become slower, and pursuing methods were not just about speed. Rank 8 gu immortals had a wide variety of methods. They could do other things like gu formations, teleportation, long-range attacks, and others. I have just destroyed Lu tribe's bone burial field, and even killed an enslavement path gu immortal of Lu tribe, Lu Yong. When he was alive, he had already informed his tribe, as a super force, Lu tribe will definitely send gu immortals to pursue me. However, Lu tribe's available fighters are all at the blood battle martial competition. The remaining gu immortals are at the resource points, or have missions to attend to. It is not easy to send people out, especially people who are able to deal with the expert Lu Guanyi. Time is needed. After they get to bone burial field, they will still need some time to chase me. They would not think that instead of retreating, I actually went to the southeast direction and planned to rob the Jade Light Pit next. In this case, these Lu tribe pursuers might waste even more time. With all this wasted time, I can definitely devour the whole of Jade Light Pit. Feng Yuan had been collecting information about the outside world while he was cultivating. Lu tribe was big and eye-catching. A lot of their resource points in the outside world were known to all. Sometimes, in order to display their own strength and foundation, Lu tribe's gu immortals would expose intel about these places themselves. For example, the bone burial field's production of mortal gu, and how many profits they derived. Fang Yuan had been very interested in Lu tribe's Jade Light Pit. Because of attitude gu.to feed attitude gu, he needed a vast number of flowing light fruits. The higher the rank of the immortal gu, the longer the interval of feeding and the greater amount eaten each time. Fang Yuan had already bought a lot of flowing light fruits in Treasure Yellow Heaven earlier. He had planted them in sovereign, blessed land, using fruits to bring about more fruits. Right now, he needed huge amounts of dazzling light goo between his flowing light fruits to increase the amount of light. With intense light, brand new flowing light fruits would form. This method was not only efficient, it was simple and easy for Fang Yuan to control, and inside the Jade Light Pit, there were all sorts of light goo. For example, Jade Light Goo, Reflect Light Goo, Borrow Light Goo, Return Light Goo, all sorts of colored light goo, like blue light goo, red light goo, black light goo, and others. Dazzling light goo was one of them. Fang Yuan raced against time. Right now, they were already alerted. His time was very precious. There is a cloud layer in front. Joy flashed across the ancient sword dragon's eyes. At this time, he was already near the Jade Light Pit. A huge cloud layer was able to conceal Fang Yuan's traces. I am quite lucky to think there was a cloud layer here. If the Lu tribe Gu immortal defending the Jade Light Pit is careless, I might even be able to sneak attack. Fang Yuan carried anticipation as he rushed into the cloud layer. The thickness of the cloud layer completely concealed the ancient sword dragon's body. But the truth was not as nice as Fang Yuan had hoped. In the Jade Light Pit, Lu tribe Gu immortal Lu Luo felt something. She stared with wide, opened eyes. An enemy. This Lu Luo was nearly 200 years old, but she had the body of a young child. Her eyes were watery and bright. Her petite body was so cute and delicate, people would want to protect her. She was the Lu tribe Gu immortal guarding the Jade Light Pit. She was very alert now. All because of Lu Yang's report. All of Lu tribe's Gu immortals were notified. They were all on guard. The Jade Light Pit's defensive Gu formation did not have any immortal Gu. Fang Yuan's transformation, the ancient sword dragon, easily tore the defense and got in. It is Lu Guanyi indeed. He did not escape. He is here to attack my Jade Light Pit. Seeing the ruthless ancient sword dragon, Lu Luo was furious and shocked. I cannot escape. My speed is not as fast as the ancient sword dragon. Thankfully, I planted many seeds here. I can only persevere and wait for reinforcements. Brother, save me quickly. Lu Luo quickly analyzed. At the same time, she muttered as the ground of the Jade Light Pit tore open. Dozens of vines resembling dragons or pythons drilled out. Next, countless trees expanded like jade umbrellas, becoming larger and larger until a huge forest was formed. Lu Luo hid herself in the forest and vanished. It seems that they are on guard. Fang Yuan took a glance and saw Lu Luo before she vanished from his perception. Rank 6 would path, but this forest was meticulously created. It is quite troublesome to deal with. Fang Yuan was strong, but this was a tough nut to crack. Because this forest was an immortal battlefield killer move. Lu Luo was a rank 6 Gu immortal, but she had an immortal battlefield killer move. This was atypical, but Fang Yuan felt no surprise. From Lu Yang's soul, he obtained a lot of information. Lu tribe had Lu Chang and Lu Luo, these two siblings. Because of their father's protection, both of them became Gu immortals. Lu Chang was a rank 7 Gu immortal. His battle strength was not lower than Yi Lui Kun Xing. But this time, to get rid of the mud monster group in Lu tribe's Great Mud Pit, he could not spare any time outside. Lu Chang had great battle strength and status, especially when Lu tribe had no rank 8 Gu immortals. Lu Chang doted on his little sister Lu Luo since a young age. He even gave her lifespan Gu. This would path battlefield killer move was obtained by Lu Chang for Lu Luo to have a strong trump card defending her. Fang Yuan thought about it. He did not deal with this forest. He charged straight for the Gu worms in the pit. Countless Gu worms were taken by him, kept into his immortal aperture. Lu Luo watched with much fear, gritting her teeth. This Lu Guanyi was robbing her in her face. This proud female immortal felt extremely humiliated and angry. This Lu Guanyi is truly too daring. He dared to kill my Lu tribe's Gu immortals and even steal our cultivation resources. It is a pity I do not have enough strength. Otherwise, I would make you pay the consequences. Lu Luo hid inside the battlefield killer move and did not dare to show herself. Even after Fang Yuan left, she did not reveal her traces. Not long after, there was white light in the sky. The light was painful to the eyes. It suppressed even the sun's radiance. As the white light charged down, it formed into a male Gu immortal. He had a skinny body and a sharp face. He had bean-like eyes and showed anxiety and rage on his face. Brother, Lu Luo saw this person and immediately appeared between the trees, feeling elated. Sister, you are safe. I was so worried about you. The person who came was Lu Chong. He saw that Lu Luo was fine and calmed down. The anxiety on his face turned into joy. Lu Luo was also overjoyed, but she was still very cautious. Brother, let's match our secret code before I let you in. There was no issue. Lu Chong entered the battlefield killer move, and the siblings hugged each other tightly upon meeting. Sister, you must have been shocked, right? Don't worry, brother is here. Brother, that Lu Guan Yi is so terrible. He took away all of the goo worms inside the jade light pit. Not a single one is left. I failed to defend them. The tribe is definitely going to punish me. No need to worry. No need to worry. With me here, I will protect you. Don't be afraid. Cheer up. I will back you up no matter what. Lu Chong doted on his sister. Even though she was actually nearly 200 years old, he touched Lu Luo's head as he consoled. Brother will go kill this bad person and avenge you, sister. In fact, he was sent by Lu tribe to capture Fang Yuan to begin with. Lu Chang's battle strength was not inferior to Yi Lui Kunxing's. He cultivated light path and was specialized in speed and movement. He could retreat or advance easily. Between Gu immortals, once one party had advantage in speed, they would gain initiative in the battle. Whether they fought or retreated, it would be up to them. While the siblings interacted, more Lu tribe Gu immortals arrived. Just now, Fang Yuan killed Lu Yong and took Lu tribe's resources. The entire tribe was furious. Not only did they send Lu Chong, they also sent 2 more Gu immortals to assist him and ensure that they succeeded. My goodness, our tribe's jade light pit was completely robbed by Lu Guanyi. Kill him. We have to kill him. Otherwise, our Lu tribe's anger will not be appeased. The 2 new Gu immortals who arrived screamed. Stop screaming. You are so loud. What if you scare my sister? Lu Chong raised his head and yelled back. The 2 Lu tribe Gu immortals knew about Lu Chong and quickly lowered their volume. Among them, one used an investigative method and quickly found traces of Fang Yuan. He escaped there. Let's chase him. You guys go first. I will escort my sister back. Lu Chong said. The other 2 Gu immortals were dazed. To and fro. How long would you take? If we do not start chasing now, we will not catch up to him. Then what if we leave and Lu Guanyi comes back and harms my sister? If anything happens to my sister, I will take it out on you both. Lu Chong shouted loudly. Brother is the best. Lu Luo was joyous. The 2 Lu tribe Gu immortals looked at each other. They could see the bitterness in each other's faces. Chapter 12:10, wanted by the entire righteous path. According to what Lu Yong said, if Lu tribe wants to capture me, they will send that Lu Chong. But he is a light path Gu immortal. Even if I kill him, I cannot annex his immortal aperture for the moment. Why would I take a risk then? Fang Yuan was still in his ancient sword dragon transformation as he flew towards the west. As he flew, he searched Lu Yong's soul. Right now, Fang Yuan was going to retreat. That if he continued, there would not be enough time. He did not need to fight with Lu tribe's Gu immortals. If he did that, the risks were great with minimal benefits. As he flew, Fang Yuan continued using Sword Escape Immortal Gu. Undoubtedly, Red Date Immortal Essence was truly durable. If it were like before, would Fang Yuan with only Green Grape Immortal Essence dare to sustain such expenditure for so long? But it was out of Fang Yuan's expectations that while he retreated, he did not see a single trace of Lu tribe's Gu immortals. He did not know that Lu Chong had delayed a lot of time in escorting his sister back. He could no longer make it. As for the other 2 Lu tribe Gu immortals, they did pursue him, but they could not catch up. After Fang Yuan entered Taichio, these 2 Lu tribe Gu immortals could only watch without entering. Through the Gu formation, Fang Yuan returned to Langya Blessed Land. Fang Yuan is back. Sixth Hair immediately got news of it. He had a complex feeling, because right now, He had already known that Fang Yuan had killed Yi Lui Kunxing. Most importantly, Fang Yuan had used ancient sword dragon transformation. He used his own strength, instead of relying on the upper extreme heavenly eagle. How did his battle strength surge so quickly? And recently, he has been very busy, going in and out of this place. What is he trying to do? Sixth Hair was very uneasy, seeing Fang Yuan's busy schedule. He felt like he was looking at Fang Yuan's back, seeing him sprinting ahead rapidly. Sixth Hair really wanted to trip Fang Yuan and halt his progression, but there was nothing he could do. Whenever he thought of Fang Yuan's upper extreme heavenly eagle, he became dejected. Rank 8 battle strength. Sixth Hair did not know the truth. He could only hope that Fang Yuan had few heavenly crystals and could not feed the upper extreme heavenly eagle. I hope this upper extreme heavenly eagle dies of hunger. Sixth Hair could only hope for this. I have insufficient heavenly crystals indeed. Fang Yuan returned to his cloud city. After inspecting his immortal aperture, he sighed deeply. Sixth Hair's hopes were not groundless. Heavenly crystals were rank 8 immortal materials. They were rarely sold in treasure yellow heaven. In this aspect, Fang Yuan did not have enough heavenly crystals to begin with. The majority were obtained by trading resources with Heavenly Lord Baizu. The upper extreme heavenly eagle had been growing all the while. His heavenly crystal storage was depleting. It doesn't matter. I will use my sect contribution points to exchange for a batch and use my immortal killer move on the upper extreme heavenly eagle to delay its growth. Heifan's true inheritance could accelerate the upper extreme heavenly eagle's aging and cause it to mature rapidly. He naturally had a method to do the opposite. However, Fang Yuan only spent some sect contribution points to exchange for heavenly crystals. He did not use any immortal killer move. Fang Yuan was still not familiar with this killer move. He needed to practice it many times, or the activation would fail. Not only would Fang Yuan be injured, the upper extreme heavenly eagle would be hurt as well. Secondly, this immortal killer move needed 3 days to activate. Fang Yuan did not have enough time. Fang Yuan left after returning. Using the super teleportation Gu formation, he went to another corner of northern plains. Undoubtedly, Langya Land Spirit's super Gu formation was simply too useful. Fang Yuan lost fixed immortal travel, but using this super Gu formation, Fang Yuan could still enjoy the effects of fixed immortal travel. Choosing a location without anyone nearby, Fang Yuan tossed out Lu Yong's corpse. Placing his immortal aperture, Fang Yuan went inside. Lu Yong had a land spirit left behind. It was a black hound. The condition it had was, collect 20 desolate beast hounds for this blessed land. Fang Yuan easily completed it. A few days later, he successfully annexed this blessed land, and the sovereign immortal aperture gained some new territory. Speaking of which, Fang Yuan had annexed many immortal apertures recently. The entire space in the sovereign immortal aperture had increased slightly, but because the sovereign immortal aperture was just too large, the increase in size was not significant. There was also another change, the land spirits. Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture already had more than 10 land spirits. There was a snake, star core, black hound. Land spirits in all sorts of forms were scattered in different locations over the sovereign immortal aperture. They all controlled an area, and Fang Yuan provided them immortal essence and goo worms. That a lot of the immortal essence was left behind by their main bodies before death. It was not Fang Yuan's own green grape immortal essence or red date immortal essence. Other people's immortal essence was also known as foreign immortal essence. They had limited use. The biggest use was to activate immortal goo houses. In the past, Fang Yuan obtained a huge amount of Giant Sun's immortal essence. He used almost all of it to activate Graceful Chaotic Dual Stage, and used it extensively in Etian Mountain. Next, he used Change Soul, and the remaining amount of Giant Sun's immortal essence went to Ing Wu X. It was necessary to mention that Immortal Goo House had fixed abilities, but their strength depended on the immortal essence that was expended. They could either be stronger or weaker. After absorbing Lu Yong's enslavement path blessed land, Fang Yuan realized that his count of calamities and tribulations had only moved forward by 1. It seems that with rank 7 cultivation level, annexing a rank 6 blessed land has negligible effects. The truly effective ones are ranked 7 immortal apertures. Fang Yuan realized this, and his gaze turned pensive. it is slightly difficult. In the 5 regions Gu Immortal world, rank 6 Gu Immortals were the most commonly seen. Rank 7s were rarer. Their quantity was far lower than rank 6s. And rank 7 blessed lands could only be annexed by those with Grandmaster attainment level in that path. Feng Yuan only had 5 Grandmaster attainment level paths, among which rank 7 Gu Immortals who cultivated Strength Path, Blood Path, and Wisdom Path were few. Star Path and Transformation Path were still available. But this way, Feng Yuan's options were far fewer. He could not annex rank 7 blessed lands as casually as rank 6 ones. But Feng Yuan had a solution for this problem. He directed his gaze far away in the direction of southern border. How can I make my way in? Just familiar face alone. Even though I can conceal myself, if I interact with them, I will be full of flaws. This is a headache. Feng Yuan had no idea on what to do. He did not leave Northern Plains urgently. He was waiting to see everyone's responses. Lu Guan, he had an infamous reputation now. He suddenly assaulted Lu tribe and killed Lu Yong. He looted Bone Burial Field and the Jade Light Pit. News quickly spread in the Northern Plains Gu Immortal world. The Righteous Path forces were furious. Gong Wanting also changed her attitude after hearing this. She questioned Chu Du and blamed the Domination Immortal over at Chu sect. They were also surprised and shocked. They held great anticipation towards Feng Yuan, but he ignored the blood battle martial competition and went to loot Lu tribe alone. So daring, so unrestricted in his actions. Lu tribe was Chu Du's enemy. Back then, it was because of Chu Du and Lu tribe's conflict that he gained great reputation and became known as the Domination Immortal. But now, even though Lu tribe suffered a loss, Chu Du was unhappy. This brother Lu is too uncontrollable. Chu Du's good feelings towards Feng Yuan vanished without a trace. He did not want any Gu Immortal under him to do this. Feng Yuan did this and broke all of the rules. He destroyed the tacit understanding between both sides. Chu Du was quite angry. Yao Huang and Heavenly Lord Baizu also felt the same. Even Yi Lui Kunxing's death could not cause any sorrow or concern in these 2 rank 8 Gu Immortals. But after hearing news of Feng Yuan attacking Lu tribe, they frowned in unison. A piece of rat poop spoils an entire pot of soup. Lu Guanyi is not a member of the Righteous Path. The 2 rank 8 Gu Immortals gave their verdict on Feng Yuan immediately. Both sides had agreed to hold their bottom line during this conflict. It was like 2 kids fighting. They would agree beforehand that they could attack anywhere, except the face. Feng Yuan did this. He not only slapped their face. The vile consequences were something that the Righteous Path Gu Immortals did not want to see. Immediately, Chu Du declared, Lu Guanyi's actions were purely his own. He was not asked to conduct them. To express his innocence, as well as Chu's sect standpoint, Chu Du announced on the scene that Lu Guanyi would be expelled from the sect. He would no longer be Chu sect's second supreme elder. So resolute. Feng Yuan noted as he held Chu Du's letter Gu.in the letter. Chu Du was very polite. He expressed his helplessness. The situation was very urgent at that time. He had to expel Lu Guanyi immediately. He expressed that on the inside, he had wanted Feng Yuan to stay, and hoped that in the future, they could still cooperate to beat at Feng Yuan's immortal tribulation tempering aperture or the crazed demon agreement. Chu Du had reason to continue cooperating with Feng Yuan secretly, but publicly, the 2 were enemies at the same time. Heavenly Lord Baizu and Yao Huang sent orders denouncing Feng Yuan's demonic acts. They were putting up an arrest warrant for Feng Yuan, so that he would receive judgment. This was how the Righteous Path worked. They did not want demons to wreak havoc. The 3 sides immediately kicked Feng Yuan out. Even though Feng Yuan's battle strength was something Chu Du needed, Feng Yuan's plan of disrupting Northern Plains failed. Not just that, Lu Guanyi was now wanted by everyone. Chu Du, Heavenly Lord Baizu, Yao Huang. They are truly not easy to scheme against. Feng Yuan smiled. He was unfazed. Not to mention Lu Guanyi was just a randomly created false identity for himself. Even if it was real, so what? His main connections in Northern Plains Gu Immortal world were the variant humans at the same time. He was planning to go to southern border now. Although Feng Yuan would still pay attention to the developments of Northern Plains, his focus was now shifting towards the giant dream realm. Southern border. Oh, southern border. I am coming back. as a rank 7 Gu immortal. Is this considered to be returning with glory? Fang Yuan had a complex smile on his face.